So there's supposedly going to be a meeting between Trump and Putin, but I don't really understand or get what they're supposed to be a meeting about. Because how can you have a meeting between Trump and Putin if there is no deal? And from what I'm reading, the Ukrainians and the Russians are still very far apart, and the only way I can see there being a deal is if either side has made some major concessions. I don't think that's happened. The Russians are currently close to capturing at least 3 cities. Konstantinivka, they're pretty near Pokrovsk. They're already inside the city and surrounded it on one side, and they're closing in on and a couple other cities too. So I don't really see why when they're gaining more ground than the last few months than they have in the whole year, why would they suddenly make major concessions? Because these sanction threats, secondary tariffs, I don't think that's enough, because their biggest trading partner is China, and China is not going to abide by these sanctions. So I don't see why they would suddenly make major concessions just to appease the Americans. And for the Ukrainians, the Ukrainians are in a bad position, but they're not just going to give up territory, And the only way the Russians will agree to a peace deal or ceasefire is if Ukraine was to leave Donetsk, maybe some of the other those oblasts, as they call them, the areas, the provinces that the Russians are claiming. And the Ukrainians will never leave those territories when the areas that they haven't already lost. So I don't see that happening. So for me, I think this whole Trump meeting is just another pie in the sky thing that's not going to amount to anything. I don't see it happening because I don't see it happening anytime soon.